Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Magnet Warrior deck profile. So I'm really excited to do something for you guys because this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck and super fun to be able to play because you can make some incredible boards. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name scratched in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Alpha the Electromagnetic Warrior. This card is definitely a 3-of in the build with an awesome ability. If this card is normal or special summon, you get to add a level 8 Magnet Warrior from your deck to your hand, which instantly gets you to your copy of your Magnet Warrior version of Berserkion or Valkyrian, so you can go in for Imperium Magnum, the superconductive battle bot. We then play 3 copies of Beta the Electromagnetic Warrior. This card is really good as a 3-of as well in the deck, because if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is a really cool effect. We then play 3 copies of Gamma, the Electromagnetic Warrior. Gamma is really good as a 3-of as well in this build because this card has a great effect that if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually special summon a level 4 lower Magnet Warrior monster from your hand except another copy of this card. And all 3 of these cards actually share a common effect that during your opponent's turn, you can tribute this card to special summon a level 4 Magnet Warrior monster from your deck, and it is a quick effect, which is a great ability. We then play 3 copies of Delta. Delta is definitely a 3-of as well in this build and is such a powerful card because this card has the ability, if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually send a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish 3 level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monsters from your graveyard except a copy of Delta to special summon a Valkyrian the Magnet Warrior from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, getting an extremely nostalgic boss monster side of the field that has 3,500 attack points. We then play 3 copies of Epsilon. Epsilon is really good as a 3-of as well in this deck, as this card has the ability, if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually send a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard except another copy of this card. And this card's name becomes that sent monster's name until the end phase of the turn. Then you can special summon a Magnet Warrior or a Magnet Warrior monster from the graveyard with a different name than the cards you control, which is a really cool effect to be able to get one of your monsters back to your side of the field. We then play 2 copies of Berserkion. Berserkion is really cool as a 2-of in the deck and just an awesome boss monster to summon out to your side of the field. It cannot be normal summon or set, it must be first special summon from your hand by banishing 1 Alpha, Beta, and Gamma the Electromagnetic Warrior from your hand, graveyard, or face up from the monster zone, and also banish a level 4 lower Magnet Warrior monster from the graveyard and then target 1 card that your opponent controls and destroy it. And if this card is destroyed by battle or if its owner if it leaves because of an opponent's card effect and is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can actually target 1 each of your banished Alpha, Beta, and Gamma and special summon them back to your side of the field, which is a really cool effect. I love that about this card, that it just replaces itself if it's destroyed by an opponent's card effect or by battle. It just summons back all 3 of the Electromagnetic Warriors so you can go in for more plays later. We then play 2 copies of Valkyrian the Magnet Warrior. This card is really cool as a 2-of in the deck to instantly summon out to your side of the field off your copy of Delta or to use as a fusion material to step into your copy of Imperium Magnum. We then play 3 copies of Adamantipator Researcher. Researcher is really good as a 3-of in the deck because if you control a rock monster, then you can special summon this card from your hand, and during the main phase you can activate the top 5 cards to your deck, and if you do, you can actually special summon an excavated level 4 lower non-tuner rock monster and also place the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order, essentially getting you a monster out to your side of the field. But really cool about this card is it's actually a level 2 tuner monster, and you have a bunch of level 3 monsters so you can step into a copy of Naturia Beast since we're playing an Earth deck. We then play 2 copies of Doki Doki. Doki Doki is really cool as a 2-of in the deck and helps out a lot overall in the build. So this card has the ability you can discard a rock monster to special summon from your deck a rock monster that has the same original attribute and level as that monster in face up attack position or face down defense position, which is a pretty cool effect to instantly get a monster in the graveyard, also getting an additional one from the deck. We then play a single copy of Century Soldier of Stone. This card is just really cool as an extender for the deck, is if all monsters that you control are rock, then you can, while this card's in the graveyard, you can actually special summon this card, which is a pretty cool ability just to bring it out so you can link summon. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is just really good in the deck overall at stopping your opponent from touching the deck. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is really good in this deck as a one-of, basically just to stop your opponent from hand-trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is really good in the deck to get the exact monster you need in the graveyard when you need it. We then play a single copy of Magnetic Field. Magnetic Field is a really good card, but I feel like you really only need a single copy of this card in the deck, especially with how tight the deck is. This card has a really cool ability. If you control a level 4 or lower Earth Rock monster, you can actually target a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And you only use the effect of this card once per turn, but also once per turn at the end of the damage step when an Earth Rock monster that you control battled an opponent's monster, but that opponent's monster was not destroyed by battle, you can return that opponent's monster back to the hand, which is a pretty cool effect. We then play 2 copies of Polymerization. Polymerization helps out a lot overall in the deck, so we can go for a copy of Imperium Magnum, the superconductive battle bot. We then play 2 copies of Adamantipator Signs. Adamantipator Signs is really cool as a 2 on the deck, so let's just target a rock monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position. Then, if you special summon an Adamantipator monster with this effect, you can actually take a level 4 rock monster from your deck and place it on top of the deck so that you know what you're going to excavate. We then play 3 copies of Magnet Induction. Magnet Induction is absolutely broken for this deck and definitely a 3-of. So if you control a Magnet Warrior monster whose original level is 4 or lower, you get to special summon a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster from your deck with a different name than the cards that you control. Also, for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, Magnet Warriors and Magnet Warrior monsters that you control cannot be destroyed by battle or by your opponent's card effects, which is a really cool ability to instantly get the exact card that you need to your side of the field. So, that's it for these spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 3, and that's going to be 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is really good as a 3-of in the deck, just to stop your opponent's monster effects, while also locking entire columns of spells and traps down if you do set this card to your side of the field before activation. But it's a fantastic hand trap to be able to play, to lock down entire columns of spells and traps, or just negate those monster effects. So, that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start with a single copy of Imperium Magnum. This card is such a powerful boss monster and actually very easy to go into in this build. It does require a copy of Valkyrion plus Berserkion to make this card, but this card is awesome because it must be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials, cannot be special summoned by other ways. And once per turn, during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card or monster effect, you can negate the activation if you do destroy that card, basically making this card a walking negate. In this card, its owner's control leaves the field because an opponent's card effect, you can actually special summon both your Valkyrion and your Berserkion from your hand or deck, ignoring their summoning conditions, which is a really cool effect just to instantly replace this card back into its awesome counterparts and the materials that you use to fusion summon into this card. We then play a single copy of Raptide. Raptide is really good to be able to play as a 1-of in the build because during your main phase, you can actually top 5 cards your deck, and if you do, you can special summon an Excavator Rock monster in defense position, which is a really cool effect just to instantly bring out a rock monster to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Barkion. Barkion is really good because it negates trap cards and overall just a fantastic card to be able to summon out to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Naturia Beast to go along with our copy of Barkion, which is just really good because this card is absolutely broken, being a spell negate. We then play a single copy of Gorgonic Guardian. Gorgonic Guardian is amazing in the build overall and very easy to make in the deck, as this card has the ability once per turn during either player's turn. you can actually detach an XZ material from this card, target a face of the monster that your opponent controls, and its attack becomes 0, and if it does, its effects are negated. Also, these effects last until the end of the turn, and once per turn, you can actually target a monster on the field with 0 attack and destroy it, which is a really cool ability to be able to use. We then play a single copy of Bagooska. Bagooska is just really good to be able to throw in Defense Solution just in case we need to be able to slow down the game. We then play a single copy of Zeus. Zeus is really good in the deck overall just to be able to be a board wipe in the deck. We then play a single copy of Typhon. Typhon's also really good in the build as a 1-up, just to be able to summon out to your side of the field, just in case you need it. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's amazing in the build overall as a 1-up, to be able to pop multiple cards in the field and come out absolutely massive. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa, just in case we want to establish multiple monster negates on our side of the field. 1 copy of Unicorn to spin stuff, a single copy of Phoenix to pop spells and traps. Then we play the Earth Charmer. Earth Charmer is really good in this deck as a 1-up because it's just an overall fantastic option, plus it's a different attribute for Access Code. We then play a single copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight's great in the deck, but you can change it out for a different card if you want to, like a copy of Gallant Granite or even a copy of Nightmare Cerberus if you want to play that instead. We then play a single copy of IP Masquerena. IP is really good overall in the deck just as a 1-up to be able to make your copy of SP Little Knight or Nightmare Unicorn during the opponent's turn. So that's going to do for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Magnet Warrior deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's extremely fun to be able to play. You can summon out awesome cards like Valkyrian, which is such an awesome boss monster and super nostalgic. So that's going to do for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.